Right. Ugh. Right.
Oh, I'm due to do my typing practice. That's what my phone told me.
I could never do. I could never do that. I could never.
What?
Have like. I get the very idea of setting up reminders to do something later. I can't do, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Like my brain immediately goes, instead of reminding myself to type, I'll type. That's just how my brain does. Go like, well, I'll just do it now.
Yeah, but you schedule shit, don't you? You plan dates and stuff like that.
No,
you're not like we'll meet at this time on this date.
I don't see anybody
ever, even pre-COVID.
What, like, right, so yeah, this episode, right, did you have a notification in your calendar for today?
I know that it happens on Thursday, so, like, no, typically not.
Yeah, so that's what I do that, but with everything. So it's like, if it's like,
if I did that with everything, I wouldn't do anything. I'd just, because I used to be like that, and I'd just forget everything. Like, it might just be that you've got a better memory than I have. But maybe. I can't hold my life together without like a calendar and like reminders and shit. Like it just takes a lot off my mind.
But the calendar was a recent thing, wasn't it? Mm-mm. They said last week.
I thought it was recent, but it was Vix that introduced me to it, and I realised I've been with Vix for pretty much 10 years now, so it's not that recent.
Right. Yeah. Well, you know, like doctor's appointments. Sure, I'll make a note in my phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, say I wanted to go running every day. I don't set an alarm for 7 a.m. to say go running.
No,
I'll set a morning wake up
that's
alarm,
not like a timed thing. I've got this. It's like a habit tracking app thing called Streaks, and it just sort of it just sort of keeps you addicted to the number, as in like you've done it for this many days in a row. If you don't do it today, that number's gone. It's that kind of thing.
Right.
So I've found that kind of like I can become, in a good way, I can become a slave to that number, and it just encourages me to do good things.
On that note, because I was going to ask you about this, because I entered into a good mood yesterday.
Oh shit!
You still doing the? I know. Yeah. I remembered that I'm actually a happy person from time to time.
Yeah.
And like that's my real self.
Yeah.
It's just. Everything else is just kind of on the side. You were doing music stuff every week.
Yes.
I only saw like one thing pop up. You still doing that?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do it then, can I? Because otherwise you're going to get really...
Yeah, you can. Yeah, go for it, dude.
No. It's I was like... Well, I mean, it's more just to see if I can actually play guitar again. I was like, oh, yes, and try and sort that. But yeah, I was like, I could maybe get back into music. And then I couldn't remember. I know you were doing a thing, but I don't know whether you're still doing a thing.
Yeah.
You hate everyone else doing things.
No, I can't pretend that.
But not like a weekly thing. It was just like, it popped into my mind. It's like, oh yeah, because you do it on Instagram, don't you?
Yeah.
And I'm just not on.
I found that I just like that format. It's an excuse to do short things and to not have to explain yourself. Whereas,
so for that, do you have like a reminder to like a notification?
No. With that, I'm just like, I know I've got to do it every week. The number of that for that is on. It's on Instagram essentially. It's like because each one's got a number to it. So like last week was first 10, I guess. So like this week will be 11, and it's like it's not like that number will go away, but that's a reminder of like you've done this for 10 weeks in a row. So like it just kind of keeps it locked in.
Fair enough. Yeah. Self-managing apps. I mean, like I know a while ago you were doing like entering in your expenditure whenever you went to the shop, like making a note of it and that kind of thing.
Man, that was a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I go like I'll just have £20 to go, and then if I spend
you use
under
cash
20
a lot,
quid,
don't
then
you?
it's no, just I've got a £20 limit. Of just like I just won't spend any more than 20 quid. So as I go around, it'll be like, oh, I've got a 20 quid a week food budget or whatever for this, whatever. So it's like, oh yeah, just don't go over that, and then it just eventually gets sorted out.
Yeah.
By the demigods. What about the demigods, innit?
Yeah.
They haven't rocked up in a while.
The demigods.
Was Zeus racist? He could have been.
Zeus?
I don't know.
No, he was a bastard, apparently.
I don't think the Greek gods... Well, he threw his son in a river. No, Hercules was like his abandoned kid, wasn't he?
I don't know, but then he raped his wife or something. It was a whole thing with Zeus. Like, he was...
Zeus!
Yeah, you have to speak to Vix about it. Apparently, he's an utter cunt.
Fair one. I was going to say, I don't think they've come under the modern lens recently, but maybe they have, and I just haven't heard about it.
Yeah.
Be interesting to know what Poseidon's done. That could be funky.
I often wish I had more references to classical stuff, and then I try and find things to expose myself to it and listen to like podcasts and stuff like that, and I'm just like, this is really dull.
Yeah, I tried to find a podcast for Greek mythology. I found some, and it was just like, same with audiobooks. I'm just like, I get it as a thing for a little bit, and then it finishes, and it's like, I just carry on doing what I was doing before.
Yeah, it's always just
Lego
really dry and
cold winter sun.
None of it sticks, and I don't know. Maybe I need a cartoon or something.
I don't want to better myself. What are you talking about?
I like learning stuff, but like
I hate it.
I like some history stuff. I'm always fascinated by it, but it's just finding the right medium to put it across. Like Dan Carlin stuff, I can listen to that for days. But like it's then you're kind of at the mercy of what he wants to talk about, as opposed to being like, well, I want to learn about Greek myths or Norse gods or something, and then
can't.
Yeah, you got it. Well, Dan Carlin's not talked about it. Because they're not real.
Yeah, I think I need the right environment, I guess. Like, I guess for podcasts and audiobooks, it's like driving is the big thing. Like, if I'm doing a long drive, I'll plow through a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But like, sat at home, it's not really not really a big thing. Sometimes when I need to be doing something in the background, and it kind of filters in through my brain.
While I'm cooking, that's good.
While you're cooking?
Yeah. Podcast on.
While you're mashing your potatoes.
Making soup.
Yeah. Got to stew it. Let it broil. Stop broiling. Who's that? James Brolin. Not broiling. Sorry. James Broilan. It's always bubbling over. Whatever it is. Yeah, anyway, it's new week. This is episode 228. I've got that written down. So that's good. We're on YouTube if you want to see our faces in my green shirt. You can pop us over onto YouTube and throw. Maybe you can watch Mary's Misadventures.
Yeah,
it's always good. But how are you, Steve?
I'm good. Now I took into account that you give me this. I'm granted this platform every week, and every week you ask me how are you, and I never actually kind of like make any effort to prepare for this because it is a segment. Because you're the only person in my life who cares. So, I decided to make a couple of notes, just like single lines of like
prepped how you are
of just like somewhat moments of gravitas throughout my week, like just to make it more of a segment and less of a me trying to think how I am. Point one, I threw my biscuits away. There you go.
Threw them away. Who did you throw them at?
What?
Who did you throw them at?
No, I just threw them in a bin. I had enough. I woke up on Monday morning and I was like, they're making me soft. I just went downstairs and threw them away.
What biscuits are they, I guess?
They were ginger nuts. They were the only ones I had left. I think it's because they were the dying embers of my Christmas binging, and it's like biscuits were like the only thing that I had left in my life to kind of get rid of before I was like back on the healthy train properly. But I managed to hold on to it for like 6 weeks and make a habit of having like 3 or 4 of them in an afternoon with a coffee, and I was just like, this is weakness. I can't deal with this anymore, and I just woke up with this just unquenchable urge to just ditch them. So biscuits are in the bin.
Destroy the nuts of the ginger.
Yeah.
Is it ginger all nuts. Dried baked goods? Is it all dry baked goods?
I think that was
Will
the
you have
last
a
of
canapé from time to time?
that was the last of the really sort of sugary things that I had in my life. I think because I was never a sweet person. I think we've had this discussion. Like I'm much more.
Yeah, you're like a cold, crisp person.
Yeah, and I'm gravitated towards like I don't know, savoury products and pork pies and that. Like that's my jam. But like
Pork pies.
I was stuck on like nice biscuits and ginger nuts and stuff. I didn't reel over to hobnobs because at that point there's no coming back. But,
I've heard this. I've never been swayed by the hobnob.
You were never a hobnob person? Oh.
Well, I've had them, but I've never been like. But again, it's not angry enough.
No.
Like, it's never anything that I got too crazed into. Just if you're gonna go sugar, go full sugar. Just have soup spoons of sugar.
I guess, but you. The thing is, I grew up with hot drinks, which you didn't really. You didn't get into warm drinks till later on in life, and a biscuit is an accessory
Even
to
now,
a hot drink.
It's very rare. Yeah.
So it's like
the receptacle's too small. That's my issue. I drink so much, yet a mug is so small.
Yeah. No, I can see that.
It just can't.
It's
can't do it.
Yeah. Do you ever do the? I mean, you obviously wouldn't have when you were younger. Nowadays, do you do the coffee after dinner, like at a restaurant?
No.
Oh,
in a restaurant maybe.
Yeah. I'm never sure about that.
I like coffee every now and then, but it's just I don't make them myself.
I find it weird being offered coffee at 8:00 at night. It's like this isn't normal.
Does caffeine has no effect on me anymore?
No,
right.
I
I think if I have 4 coffees, that gets me buzzed. As in, that gets me awake if I was tired.
I don't feel like caffeine has. I don't get a hit. I don't get an effect. I don't get the shakes. I don't get any of that. But I try and adhere by the same rules as everyone else because I'm a humble man,
Marxism.
and I don't believe I'm any better than anyone in that respect. I'm a slave to chemistry as much as anybody.
And there's like a specific what that's in reference to a time where coffee is. It's too late for coffee because the perception is you'll stay up all night, even though you might not.
Yeah, the idea is that you have. I don't know. The thing is, they talk about caffeine in milligrams, and I'm like, I talk about it in cups. So I don't know how we calculate this exactly.
I do it in pentagrams.
But they're always on about like how long it takes to actually digest caffeine, and it's like, I don't know, like from your last cup. It takes like 8 hours, and they're on about it in half lives. So I was like, I'm not being irradiated. Like this is ridiculous. But it's like they're like by 6 o'clock, half of it will be out of your system. So make sure you have your last one at 11 a.m. or something like that. It's like you're out your mind.
Do you know if you eat dinner at 4 p.m. and you don't go for a brisk walk, you're gonna shit at 6? All right. Cheers, mate.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Put that into your managing habit app. I'm gonna shit at 6.
But anyway, threw the biscuits away, and I got into pears. Pears are pretty decent, and
pears are good.
There's a shop round the corner that does honey licorice as well, which is actually really nice. Really low sugar, but like pretty banging. You were a licorice person, weren't you?
Yeah, I like licorice.
Didn't we cover a guy long ago that died after eating too much of it? But you've not eaten that much.
From strawberry to black. No, I don't eat that much, but I like licorice. I didn't like it at first. It was one of those things. I think everybody, most people go through this, I guess, where there's like an old habit that your parents do that's always a bit weird.
Yeah.
As you're a kid, and then you start doing it with them, and it's like, oh, it's actually we have a common ground. And licorice was one of those things. I never really got it, and then I used to have it with my mum whenever she had some. I was like, oh. Yeah, licorice rocks.
Yeah, no, my dad was always a massive licorice person. And like old school sweets as well. There's like Colt's Foot Rock and herbal sweets and stuff like that. And like I love Colt's Foot Rock and herbals. Like what are they, Fisherman's Friends or whatever? I get that. That makes sense to me. But the licorice thing never got it. And sherbet as well. Love sherbet. It's like old school sweets.
Good sherbet.
Again, I'm not a sherbet person. It's like fizzy sugar. I don't get it. But
it's just sweetened sugar, I think, isn't it? Sherbet.
Yeah.
It's sugar with sweetener in it, I think.
Well, my dad always had those ones that look like sticks of dynamite. It was like an orange tube with a stick of licorice in it or something.
Yeah.
So I found a place around the corner that does honey licorice. It's really nice. So I've replaced my biscuits with licorice and pears. which
Fair
so
enough.
far
Pears
is,
rock.
pears are great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of the sugar monster that I am,
Yeah.
certain fruits are banging when it comes to wanting sugar.
Yeah.
Like grapes, kaboom. And then, pears were a big one. But then people are paranoid about them, and they
Why?
just need to get over themselves. I don't know. There's an old comedy bit, isn't there, about pears and when they're going to ripen, and then, oh my God, it's gone.
Just eat it.
Just make it out of the material they make for the black box with. I don't know. 90s stand-up comedy routines.
Yeah, 1,000 jokes. Yeah.
Hasn't been any stand-up recently, obviously.
Yeah, it's all
Weird
died.
when I think
Bill's
about it.
doing like a Zoom one for a benefit, but he said there's only like 1,000 seats to the meeting or something like that. So it's hit and miss as to whether you'll actually get in.
Yeah, I know some people who've done some online gigs.
I don't get it.
But that'd be good to come back.
It's that feels like I'm gonna join a band, but I haven't got a guitar. Like it's it's the audience is your instrument, right? If you're a comedian.
Well, I think it's very similar to podcasting, to be fair. Like, I think I always describe what I think stand-up is anyway, of me being a nothing, is like it's that first impression you make at a house party when you're having a conversation with somebody.
Yeah.
And it's just like that kind of you get to know somebody and you listen to somebody talk about something. And I think podcasting is, we've described as being like we're the seat next to you in the pub just having a conversation. And you can kind of hear what's being talked about. So it's that same kind of deal, but with latency. So it's always fun.
Yeah.
But I guess what are you going to do? Got to evolve.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be interesting. I was like, I'm not really caring if we go back to pubs or not. So, no, it'd be good to see some live performances again.
Yeah. That whole
Yonder's away.
That whole thing has died. Have you got your vaccine?
No. I had my blood test. I'm going for a blood pressure thing that I don't have to email to a doctor. They rang me and were like, didn't we ask you to get your blood pressure? It's like, yeah, but I also told you I don't have a machine. And you told me not to come into the doctor's surgery. Okay, well, now we want you to come in. Okay.
Oh, great.
This will be 100% more effective. So we'll see how that goes.
I got a text from the NHS saying that I'd been selected because of my genetics or something to be pushed ahead of the queue. I was like, I'm all right. So I didn't bother.
This guy's ripe for experimentation, he is.
Yeah. Well, it felt a bit weird. I was like, how did you get my number? It's all a bit it's all a bit strange. I mean, I've given blood before. Maybe they checked my blood and been like, yeah, this guy's fucked. And just got
he's got no blood left.
Should we tell him?
Get him that vaccination.
Yeah, but let's tell him in really weird ways. Let's text him to tell him he can skip queues and stuff. What?
Get a special badge.
Yeah, but
so
no.
So you're getting it, are you?
I didn't bother.
I went for a test. I can't remember if I talked about that.
What, a COVID test?
Yeah, they're doing them all over Stoke, just like on a volunteer basis now.
Oh,
so
right.
like, fuck
yeah,
it.
well, I had one the other week. It was around Christmas time, I think. And now I've got to do one at home every week for the place I'm working as well. It's like an at-home COVID test.
Well, you have to do your throat and your nose.
Yeah.
Or like just... We'll trust you to do that.
Yeah. And I was like, do you want to see the test? And they were like, nah. I'm like, all right. So I'm definitely doing this. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But no, I've done a few. I keep hurting my nose, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, I was surprised. I only learned about it through Facebook.
Yeah.
And even then it was from it was like the bottom of an article that was like, yeah, they were saying anybody who does their own food shop on a weekly basis should be tested weekly.
What?
So they were like, you just go, but like it happened. It's like a 10-minute walk from my house. So I was like, okay, I'll go. Might as well get tested. I haven't been tested yet. It's like, yeah, it's all fine.
You see, ours was a 20-minute drive and a 2-hour queue. So like, fuck doing that every week.
Oh, there was absolutely nobody there when I did it. I did it like 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. or something though.
Yeah.
So maybe it was just a quiet time. But yeah, it came back negative. It's got a text saying, you're probably fine. Like, oh, cheers. I was carrying on my day.
It's a very accurate test.
Yeah. Well, they can't officially say, I guess, you're fine. Because what if you got it when you were walking out? Yeah. But yeah, so you're throwing out your biscuits.
Trying to ditch the biscuits. Oh, only one more. We got a milkman as well. He hasn't delivered anything yet, so I'll report back. But yeah,
you'll end up with lots and lots of expired milk.
You've got a milkman.
Got quite a lot. You've got lots of expired milk.
Why does your milkman deliver in plastic bottles?
Yeah,
is that the thing?
Yeah, it's better. I don't know, probably. I think it depends how much you order. Like if you get a pint, then maybe it'll come in a pint bottle.
Yeah.
I need more than a pint, I guess. But yeah, I just forget I've got milk, and I've just got my fridge is now filled of expired milk, so I need to get rid of it.
Oh dear. Well, it's 2 litres a week.
It's because I don't really drink that much, the milk or hot drinks. I was like, if I get this, I'll start drinking tea, and tea is, less. Maybe I should drink less.
Why?
It's filled my fridge with milk. I don't know. It is quite I don't know anybody who drinks as much as I do.
No, you do have a lot.
In terms of just water. If it was just water, I think I drink more than just anybody I've met.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, but it's a healthy thing. I just think it's left over from when I was working out intensely.
Yeah.
In my youth, it was like you should drink as much as possible because you're always thirsty.
Have you tried to see what would happen if you don't drink so much? Like maybe you'll stop going numb.
Maybe I'll get the sense of touch back. No, maybe, but
there's a cushion of water between your fingers and the world.
I enjoy it though. I enjoy drinking. It's one of the simple pleasures in life. But no, I sleep quite badly because I get quite dehydrated.
Yeah.
So it's like I tend to drink a lot for that as well. So it's just I just drink a lot and I just kind of my body's just gotten used to the amount of water, I guess. I think most people don't drink. Yeah. Like I can't imagine having a drink with dinner. We talked last week about that girl who had like a Diet Coke with her dinner or something.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, that's like what? That's like that much liquid. Like, no. Have 2 litres of drink with your dinner. Do it right.
How do you do that?
I'll drink 2 litres of water like most people drink a glass of water.
Christ.
It's just
I often won't have anything with dinner. Like in fact, most of the time I will only have something with dinner if I go out.
Depends. Are you eating like wet stuff? Oh, you had soup, right? Soup's a drink, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is cod a drink?
I just don't.
Fish?
I never got into the habit of, drinking.
Yeah.
It's. I don't know. It doesn't. It's a whole thing. Like you have to stop what you're eating in order to reach around and get your glass or whatever. It's not. I'm not into it.
Use a knife and fork. Like, oh god, you got to scrape things, move the tools around.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah. It's a cultural thing, isn't it? I'm just more cultured, I guess.
You're cultured because you drink too much. I mean, maybe in Ireland.
I'm just slowly drowning myself. But it's meant to be healthier, I guess. I guess it's like everything I've read has always said drinking more water is good.
Yeah.
Like when I was a kid, I read an SAS book about in the jungle. You tell if you're dehydrated by the colour of your piss. So I always aimed for see-through jungle piss.
Clear. Yeah.
And here I am.
Vision of health.
Yeah. But I've never really been a big biscuit guy unless I go out for a drink, I guess. I've noticed, I've never been a big biscuit guy. I guess, how would I describe myself? Yeah, I would have a biscuit if I'm having a hot drink, maybe. But I think crisps are popcorn. I'm popcorn.
Yeah.
Like, if I was to stop having popcorn, I feel like my youth would be dead.
Yeah.
That's when you become, like, old and soulless. Because I'm going to watch this film with, I don't know, a honey tea.
Yeah.
Lemongrass tea. Ugh, you're dead. Might as well not exist.
No, crisps, like biscuits were the recent vice, but crisps are like the crisps are the vice. I can't have them. I can't have them in the house. Because I just won't stop.
Like, what does that mean?
What?
What does that mean? Does that mean like if there was 20 packs of crisps in the house, you would have 20 packs of crisps?
Yep.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's a thing. I had to humble myself and be like, well, you can't control this. Like you're a weak person in this respect, so you just can't have them anymore.
Yeah.
So like on like it might be once every couple of weeks. Like if me and Vix are having a movie night or something like that, I have a pack that we can share. But I won't buy them for myself anymore. I can't open that window.
The crisp window.
Yeah. Can't do it.
Just because of unhealthiness or like
yeah.
heart disease.
It's because it would I would be my own undoing at that point. Like
more so than you currently
more so than usual.
Yeah.
Like because I feel like it's because it's because they're not satiating. They never make me feel full, but they will. But I can just keep eating them more and more and more and more, and it never fills that hole. Whereas like I could buy a pie, and it's like, yeah, I shouldn't be eating this, but I'll feel full after I've eaten it.
And it's not a volume thing. It's not like, so if you had like 5 bags of party-sized bags of Doritos, you wouldn't feel full.
No, I'd want a drink, but I wouldn't feel full. No. I don't think. No. Like to be fair, I don't think I've ever taken it to the point of like 5 enormous bags of Doritos. Maybe I have at some point. But for example, I can't have Pringles for that reason because I'll eat the entire tube in a very short sitting. And it's the same with Hobnobs, like because I can't have one or two. Like I'll have the entire pack.
Well, yeah, no one in their right mind has 1 or 2 Pringles or 1 or 2 ridiculous. Crisps from a packet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Open up a bag of Skips and have 2 whatever Skips are.
Yeah, and also
Starfish.
What the fuck is a grab bag? Like
grab a bag.
Yeah, like they introduced this. I saw it with McCoy's, and then I saw it with I think a bunch of different Walker's ones as well, where it's like it's not a standard sized bag of crisps. It's slightly bigger, but not as big as the big ones, and they call it a grab bag. It's like, what is innately ungrabbable about the smaller ones?
Yeah, that's just stupid. I mean, like, have you seen Doritos come in Pringles tubes now?
I saw that. I've been staring at those for a few weeks, and I've denied myself.
They're terrible. Absolutely
are they bad?
Terrible. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Really bad.
Because I saw there was like
even worse that they're in a tube.
There was like chicken, chili, and cheese or something like that.
Yeah.
When really, like, I like a cheese Dorito, but I can't have them because Vix doesn't like them, and we typically share them. But there's nothing wrong with cool Doritos. Like, just have those. They're really nice.
Yeah. Or they got rid of barbecue kettle chips. I feel like we're going down a very much a
food,
very specific avenue.
Food talk.
That we're getting away from. Getting away from your biscuits.
Yeah.
So what would you have a pork pie with your coffee now?
No, I'd just have the coffee and be sad.
That's one way to go.
Yeah.
What about figs? Have a fig?
Can you dip them?
Yeah. Anyway. No, it's like having a set power food, I guess, isn't it? Because like tea and a biscuit is definitely an energizer break. I've had a break. I've had a hot drink regardless of the caffeine, and like a sugary burst.
Yeah, but you know what it is?
Biscuity, dry stuff.
What it is that it was working in offices next to people who were like, while I was in like full like kind of health kick mode, and everyone around me was like, I go on walks every day, like with my kids or with my dog or whatever, and they're just taking these very meager approaches to looking after themselves, and they're just like, I just can't lose weight. I guess this is just me. And meanwhile, I'd watch them at like 1:30 in the afternoon, like put a brew down and shovel 5 biscuits in, and it's like, and it's not the first time you've done that today, and it's like, I can't become that person who's like thoroughly blind to their own undoing.
Yeah, it's definitely a big thing. People tend to willful ignorance, I guess.
Yeah.
Phrase it that way. People saying they want one thing and then doing the other.
Yeah.
It's definitely a trap to avoid.
Yeah. But that was my week.
Sounds great.
Much longer than usual.
It was prepped.
Yeah.
It was
Perhaps there's 2 bullet points.
Ready?
Milkman, licorice, and biscuits.
No biscuits. What do you get from your milkman? Just milk?
Just milk, yeah. There's the option of cheese,
got eggs
and there is the option of eggs, but they're twice as much as they are in Aldi.
Shreddies.
So it's like we've got to figure out if we really want eggs. But
Yeah.
I've been assured that fresh eggs are much nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah, well, a lot of milkmans, they just do the full food shop if you want. They've just got stockpiles of food. There's one that gave you like shreddies, fruit, veg, all that kind of shit.
Yeah, there is that option.
So,
this guy does
how far you wanna
flavoured
go.
milk.
But yeah, it does get expensive very quick.
And he does raw milk as well, which I was told is good for you, but I don't know why.
No, it's just less pasta or something.
Yeah,
isn't it?
It's just straight from the cow into the bottle, and then hopefully you don't get the shits.
Yeah, well, here's hoping.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, what are we on?
Yeah.
We're on. We got quite a few news articles this week, which are always quite tantalising to hear. We got this was in London. A bus driver killed his wife in a frenzied attack. Claimed he did so because she told him to leave home after contracting COVID-19. Well, that's fine then.
So she told me to leave, so I murdered her.
Hussein Igal, 66, allegedly used a variety of household items, including a meat cleaver.
Christ.
Including a meat cleaver. But, like, that's not top of the list. He also used a meat cleaver.
Yeah.
He also used a table leg.
Vacuum
I'd say he
cleaner,
used a
set ladders.
He used a ladder. Fuck it. Yeah, a meat cleaver, a table leg, and a ladder to attack his 57-year-old, I think it was his wife or partner.
Tell me to leave. Here's a ladder.
I've never really gotten. Oh, yeah, I guess I have. But in a loving relationship, I've never gotten angry at the person to the point where I'm looking around the room for what can I kill this person with.
That'll do.
Meat cleaver? Yeah, but something
Later.
else as well. What about that ladder?
Yeah. Get to heaven on this, you bitch.
You keep on telling me to go on a 12-step program, or there's 12 fucking steps to this ladder of death. Thwack! A woman died, but Jesus Christ, he used the ladder.
Yeah.
And a table leg, what is lying around? Or did he rip it off and
Ripped it. Yeah, it's that's the vision, isn't it? Like, he's so angry that he ripped it off. Ripped a table leg off before using the meat cleaver.
He's a bit of a character, isn't he, I guess. He's admitted carrying out the killing during the lockdown in April, but denies it was murder. It wasn't murder. Good old-fashioned fun.
Yeah. I mean, murder isn't justified, is it? This was.
It was banter.
Yeah.
I mean, she died, but it was banter.
Yeah. She was laughing, I swear. That's laughter.
I didn't expect the ladder. Smack. Prosecutor Alison Hunter, QC, I don't know what that means, described the scene at the victim's home in North London. She told jurors it was a brutal, frenzied, sustained attack involving the use of a hammer, a knife or knives, pots and pans, a table leg, and a ladder. Why is a ladder so funny? Killed by a ladder. That's... thoughts and prayers, but like the guy grabbed a ladder. Jesus Christ.
I mean, normally, you only really get killed by ladders in situations where you're already standing on one. And technically the ladder didn't kill you, it's the lack of the ladder that killed you. Because it suddenly fell. Like,
maybe he threw things, he was just throwing things from the kitchen, right? Pots and pans. Because this feels, like, the way they're describing it, brutal, frenzied, sustained attack. It's almost as if he's like beating her with a hammer for a bit, then going to get a knife, beating her with the knives, then going back, getting some pots and pans, beating her a bit more, going back out, grabbing a ladder, and having another go. It feels somewhat... I mean, the guy's murdered his... I think it was his partner.
Yeah.
Was it his partner? Yeah, his wife. Then it's like it's pretty intense. Miss Ismail, a school cleaner, was found partially naked on the floor of the lounge following the attack. I think you would be partially naked if you were beaten to death with a ladder.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of clothes that would come off, and that with the hammer and the knives and the pans. I think a lot of your clothes would be murdered as well, sadly.
Yeah.
68 sites of injuries on her body. So she was like, so I think that's like bruises, cuts, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It says sites of injuries, so maybe it's like locations where it was intense. So it could be struck more than 68 times, but at least 68 times by everything you'd expect on the Generation game. A cuddly toy smashed to death. The Somalian defendant offered a number of explanations for the killing. Well, that's always welcome.
Yeah. Well, here's why I could have done it. But I could have done it because of this.
Yeah, it's like, well, let me explain myself. I mean, one does not simply beat to death his wife with a ladder.
No.
Without good reason.
I've got a range of explanations. Pick a card, any card.
Yeah, like a magic trick, like moving things. His wife told him that he could get out and die on the street because he had coronavirus. According to the defendant, he responded by telling her, "I will kill you first."
Well, he did.
Well,
he did
that's
warn
a good
her.
explanation.
Yeah.
Yeah, explained. You know.
Yeah.
Concluded. She told me
Case
to go
rests.
out and die on the street. I said I'd kill her. She's dead. What more do you want?
Yeah.
On arrival at the police station, Igal allegedly told the officer who opened the van door, so maybe he was picked up in a police van, taken to a police station. When the van doors opened, he said he had coronavirus and you should stay away. Uh-oh. Top trumps. Oh, we were going to arrest him for murdering his wife with a ladder.
Yeah.
But he's got corona. No one can touch him. He also alleged that his
Police
wife
chasing
attacked
a
him
guy
with a
with
table
a
leg.
giant butterfly net.
Yeah, just like, with antiseptic spray, just throwing masks at him.
Yeah.
Maybe one will land. He also alleged his wife had attacked him with a table leg, and he acted in self-defense.
With a ladder.
It was a self-defense ladder.
Yeah. in case of emergency, break glass, take ladder.
Yeah. He had it like holstered. I always carry this around with me in case someone attacks me. But prosecutor Miss Hunter told jurors he demonstrated no symptoms of COVID and had no defensive injuries at all. So,
right.
he's just trying to find a reason.
So he's made up the fact that she told him to leave.
No. He told police they can't go near him because he's got corona.
Right.
Turns out he's got no symptoms of corona, so he was doing that to try and get police to leave him alone.
Right.
After being arrested, I think. And yeah, he claimed that his wife attacked him with a table leg, and that's why he murdered her with a ladder.
Got him.
And he was like, "You haven't got any defensive injuries at all." He also claimed he was mentally ill at the time.
At the time,
At the
I was
time, I was a
schizophrenic.
madman. Yeah, I was just feeling a bit, nah.
Yeah.
You know, I was having
Mondays,
an anxiety
innit?
attack. Lasagna, Garfield. Like, he was just having one of those odd moments of anxiety where the only solution is to murder your wife with ladders.
Yeah.
He washed a meat cleaver used in the attack. So this is after he's murdered his wife with a meat cleaver. He cleaned it, disposed of his wife's mobile phone, and went to the bank to give his daughter some money. I like how that's suspicious. Obviously, like, I guess it's like a joint account.
Yeah.
So he was like, get it out of the bank now while they still think she's alive. He was. It was obviously his intention was to cause her the most serious harm imaginable. She added, his motive is something only he knows. No one knows why he did this. Just, he's guilty, all right?
Yeah.
Please. Undoubtedly, panicked by the enormity of what he has done, he is scrabbling for a plausible explanation to give to the police for his conduct. So, yeah, he just went full-on psychopathic DI Tim Allen.
Yeah.
And wanted to try and come up with an excuse for his actions, which obviously there isn't any.
No.
But he allegedly told the story. He allegedly told the officer, "She said I can get out and down the street. I said I will kill you first, so I did." Well, tell that to the officers. Why not?
Yeah.
He's admitted manslaughter but denies murder.
I don't get this.
Murder. Yeah, guy's just crazy bastard.
Lunatic.
Yeah. But yeah, there's people like that out there. So
Yeah.
just stay away from ladders. Don't walk
COVID
onto them.
having
Don't
loonies.
marry someone who owns one. I guess that's the answer. Right? In other news, lighter news, a New Jersey man has been killed in a fire after repeatedly revving his SUV's engine while trying to get out of a snowbank.
What, and it caught fire?
So it exploded. Literally what happened. Little Ferry Police Captain Ronald Klein, I'm assuming Little Ferry is the name of the area,
The town
not just
something.
that's his full captain name. Yeah, Ronald Klein told NBC News on Thursday that 2 officers found a 62-year-old driver repeatedly revving his engine and rocking his Mazda SUV back and forth to try and get out of the snow.
Right.
He said officers told the man to stop accelerating to no avail. I'm assuming they mean stop revving the engine.
Yeah.
Before telling him they were returning to their vehicle to get a tow truck. While walking back to the vehicle, the officers heard a popping sound and the SUV was on fire. But can you hear that? He's on fire. you know, like when you go in a plane and your ears pop.
Yeah.
Like that. But a man burnt to death in a car on fire. Oh, can you hear popcorn? Oh, that's the senior citizen who's just erupted in flames. Oh, I thought it would sound less like a microwave.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Butter kissed.
That's rough. How the fuck does that work? How the fuck does revving your engine result in the interior of your car filling with fire? I can understand, like, something fucking up in the exterior, like the engine or something, or the bonnet underneath, something. There's flammable liquids, there's things trying to ignite flammable liquids, but that's all outside the car, right?
Yeah.
What's so incredibly flammable inside the car that it erupts in such violent flames?
Yeah, I don't know.
Serious malfunction, I guess. Petrol fumes? Maybe fumes? Who knows? He said the officers tried to get into the vehicle, but the doors were locked. Oh. Rough. Well, they would have opened from the inside, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Right? So,
it's hard to find a door handle when you're on fire.
Yeah, but you instinctively know where it is, don't you?
Yeah.
Like, you think there would be a moment in your panic, you would reflexively get out of the car.
Yeah.
So it must have been incredibly sudden and vast. And fire, like, gets all the oxygen out, so
yeah.
There's loads of stuff going on, but that's rough. After several attempts to break into the SUV, one officer eventually broke the rear passenger window. At that point, the vehicle was engulfed in flames and smoke, so they had to retreat.
Oh.
That's proper Final Destination, that is.
Yeah.
Proper, like, what the fuck happened there?
Yeah.
Just revving his engine one day, the next day he's burning alive.
Yeah. I was stuck in the snow and then I caught fire.
Yep. People believe in that. What's that? Spontaneous combustion.
Yeah.
Like, it's just no. There's obviously an explanation behind it, but you hear it, you go, that sounds odd. The fiery crash was one of multiple deadly incidents during a major winter storm that fucked up a lot of stuff over the northeast of America, I think. A man in Plains Township. This town's a bit plain. Pennsylvania shot a couple in his neighbourhood in a murder-suicide over a snow removal dispute. Oh. Fair enough.
What have you done with my snow?
Oh, bang, bang. Or you've moved my snow, you haven't moved my snow. Fuck you, let's murder-suicide this motherfucker. Also, in Adamstown, Maryland, a 64-year-old man died after a recycling services truck he was riding on the back of overturned on an icy roadway. Oof.
He was on the back of the truck, and it rolled.
Yeah, so maybe he was working for them. So maybe he was a bin man.
Yeah,
like hanging off the back of a bin lorry, or maybe he was just a joyrider. No, you shouldn't do that.
Either way, not great.
No, flipping and having a bin man crush you is not the best way to go.
Crushed by a truck.
Yeah. And not even like the somewhat relaxing being ran over by a truck, because you're like, well, it's got suspension. No. It's like, no, this rolled over.
Yeah.
So like, there was no suspension.
No.
He was not in suspense for a second.
Yeah. And I think we've talked about funny gravestones before. I still like I still like killed by a hippo and like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like chased down and like rolled over by a hippo or whatever, charged by a hippo. Is that the right terminology? Maybe. Like
in official capacity.
Yeah.
He's fined by a hippo.
But crushed by a truck is essentially a similar death, but it's not a. I don't know. I don't know.
It doesn't have the glory of Mother Nature.
No.
It's too industrial.
Yeah. Maybe that's it. It's too dystopian. You want something a bit more. We
didn't have to build trucks.
You don't get trucks in the savannah. It's not as.
Not anymore.
It's not as tropical.
Not since the drought.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a rough way to go. But yeah, maybe it was just joyriding. There was a thing, a YouTube hole I fell down once about, because joyriding's a big thing. People like as in jumping on the back of trucks, but especially jumping on trains.
Oh, right.
Like freight trains.
Yeah. That
go across like long distances. And there was this guy, I can't remember who he was, but he did like a series of, 6 45-minute YouTube videos or something about his journey. I think it was across part of America. He wanted to like take a freight train from the East Coast to the West Coast, something like that. And how it's like illegal. So he's like evading, inspections and stuff like that. And
yeah.
Showing himself and it's just a guy on a train for 6 hours.
Yeah.
But it was actually like pretty good. It was actually pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But I've always had that impulse when when you're at a train station and a freight train's moving slowly through.
Just go.
I could just jump on this and just end up somewhere.
See what happens.
That could be quite cool. Yeah, but that's I wonder what that there's a term for the impulse. It's the same you have when you're near the edge of a cliff and you want to jump.
Yeah.
Like there's a weird feeling of like, oh, I know that the extreme consequences of my action in this moment. So it's adrenaline pumping because you realise that, oh my God, I could do this and everything could change.
Yeah.
Like I could do this and end up in Cornwall. Wow. Something great like that.
Yeah. But it's more interesting because of how you got there. I mean, you could have just driven there, but yeah.
Yeah, could have just gotten an actual train.
Yeah.
Instead of in like an oil barrel or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. In other news, a baby died of a heart attack during a baptism.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Have you been? Are you baptized?
Me? No. Not a religious family at all.
No, I'm baptized. Vaguely religious family.
So
I think there's some things about don't cremate some members of my family because of Catholicism. Something like that is trickling around. But yeah, I was baptized, but I watched my brother get baptized because I was like, there's an 8-year gap, and like his christening was pretty intense.
Yeah,
like they really don't give a fuck. They just shove a baby. We did something about baptisms before, but
violent.
Yeah, they're
ones,
pretty aggressive with baptisms.
Yeah, but I think in the violent one, the baby the guy hit the baby's head against the bottom of the font or something. It was like bang.
Yeah, this one was a baby having a heart attack, and it's because obviously it was inhaling water, which is like not the best thing to do.
But you don't need to. You don't need to shove the baby underwater. All the ones that I've been to, they just get a little cup of it out of the font and just pour it over the baby's head.
I think that's because of all the heart attacks. I mean, my brother's one was dunk.
Was it?
Was just get properly dunked in. I think I was 8 at the time, so maybe not the best memory, but I remember talking about it in school, like show and tell. Look at my.
Yeah.
It was like went to my brother's baptism. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
Remember that being a thing in primary
he's
school
all
somewhere.
wet now.
Yeah. Well, now he's now. I mean, I'm getting into the kingdom of heaven, and you're, just chilling down with Satan. Sorry.
Yeah.
Mate.
Avoiding biscuits.
Yeah. Yeah. It's quite funny though that you just. Well, it's water in it. People got there's a weird natural connection with water. I guess it would make sense that you feel refreshed when you go for a swim. So maybe that's your soul. I don't know. It's a weird coupley ritual, I think. Baptisms, anyway. Let's have a party. Just don't have a party. Have a sausage roll and shut up.
Yeah. Have a follow
People. Yeah, that's all. Baby died of a heart attack. That's was funny. Some stuff from the audience this week. So I thought I'd give that a mention. A 35-year-old, named in a police report as Charles Majawa, lost consciousness after having sex with a woman in the trading district of Malawi. So a man died during sex. He died shortly after doing the deed, and a post-mortem has officially determined the cause of death as an excessive orgasm. He died from orgasm, he did. The working woman, so it was a working woman, decided to report the death to police after speaking with her colleagues. Should I report this dead guy? I didn't see the with her colleagues bit. I thought she just decided she wasn't sure whether to report the death because maybe she'll get in trouble. But she was like, what do you think, Deborah?
Yeah.
This guy's dead.
I mean, if it was someone? You. Yeah.
Cops and a medical examiner examined the body and confirmed the cause of death last year. The report is listed the death as being due to excessive orgasm, which caused blood vessels in his brain to rupture. I don't know. I've never thought of orgasm as a brain vessel thing, but fair enough. I thought that would be a stroke.
There's always stories of people having heart attacks, like during sex and stuff, and it's like it does make sense. Like it's rigorous, and it's like it does like whack your heart rate up and whack your blood pressure up. Like it's part of the whole thing. But
like if you have an aneurysm, and I think an aneurysm is a rupture. I think if you have a rupture in your brain, isn't that just called a stroke? Because if you have a rupture in your heart, it's a heart attack.
No,
right?
so an aneurysm is a rupture. In your leg,
it's an aneurysm.
A stroke is a clot. I think.
Yeah. House. I'm remembering that episode now. But yeah, so he had the orgasm so well, I guess, that his brain exploded. Cops confirmed that the woman would not be held liable for the death. That's nice.
That's good. Yeah.
According to a local newspaper, Nyasa Times, the man died of too much sexual excitement and sweetness.
Sweetness?
I guess he was the woman he was having sex with was too sweet.
All right.
And he was
diabetic.
Yeah. He had one of those TNT licorice sherbet. He had sex with that.
Yeah.
A woman, in other news from the audience, a woman identified only as Leonora R. was arrested last week after authorities said she stabbed her husband. While going through his cell phone, she found photos of him having sex with a woman who was a lot younger than herself. Apparently, she didn't want to hear any explanation, so she allegedly lashed out with a knife. I don't know why they keep saying allegedly. He's got cuts. He's been cut.
Right.
So I think it happened. Police said the husband, identified as Juan, suffered multiple wounds on his legs and arms, according to the Daily Mail. Once the initial rage was blunted and accusations went flying, yada, 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 turns out it was photos of her from back in the day.
She didn't even realise.
She didn't recognise herself or her husband.
Oh.
So... yeah, they were like old photos he found on an old email account or something, and he put them on his phone to be like, oh, our first wedding anniversary. She finds him and goes all fucking mental with a knife.
Oh, God. What is wrong with people?
Like, I mean, it's probably that they must have been an older generation. No, because they were digital photos, but maybe they were digitized Polaroids or whatever, They were like scanned photos, maybe.
I don't
like maybe they're old people.
I don't like to use terms like bunny boiler because I think everybody has got the same capacity to be fucking mental. But if there was an example of a bunny boiler, someone that murdered you because they didn't recognize themselves is a bunny boiler.
Yes, yeah. I think he did survive, but he was cut. He had lots of cuts.
God.
And it's just like, I don't think that's a good relationship, sadly.
No.
I think maybe you need to get out.
Yeah, but you've been with her for so long now, obviously, because she was young in the photos. You've been with a mental case for so long that she doesn't even know who she is anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, she's lost all, and she doesn't remember you. No. Oh, no. No. It said she didn't recognize him younger, so he just had photos of two young people on his phone.
Oh, right. So why are you angry?
Cut him. Yeah. Bunny boilers. I don't know. But yeah, that's me for this week.
All right. Go into this one first. 12-year-old Riley Madison was hospitalised and nearly died after swallowing 54 magnets to try and make himself magnetic.
I know. I want to get out. I want to leave this place. I want to get closer to the sun.
Yeah.
Just magnetize my way up.
The boy, who is extremely enthusiastic about science, wanted to see if he could get metal to stick to his stomach. So he swallowed the first batch on January 1st and the second on the 4th.
It was a New Year's resolution. Be more magnetic.
Be more magneto.
Yeah.
According to the nurse who was attending to Riley, she dealt with children who have eaten magnets all the time. The doctor further said that he came across a case where part of a child's bowel had to be removed because of the damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever swallow anything?
Don't think so.
That's a kid thing, isn't
it? I nearly jumped from a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
That was my thing. Nearly jumped out of a moving car when I was like 3 or 4.
That was my trademark. Trademark, Nick. Bye.
Yeah. No, I remember I was in America, so I must have been like 5 or 6. But I remember my mum driving. I just opened up the door while she was driving. And I was like, "If you jump out right now, do you like keep running and you'll be fine?" That stupid kid thought.
Yeah.
And my mum was like, "What the fuck? What the fuck are you doing?"
Well, I used to have that where I was like, I couldn't get past this thought in my head, which was like, well, if a plane was going down, I'd just get out of the plane and stand on top, and then just before the plane hit the floor, I'd jump, and it'd be fine.
And everyone would be fine.
And I couldn't. Well, no, I'd be fine. Everyone else would be dead. There's not only enough room up here for me. But yeah,
I'm the one who's thinking.
I couldn't get the science in my head to figure out why that wouldn't work. Least of all, why I wouldn't be able to open the door, let alone anything else.
I used to climb a lot of things as well. That used to be a thing I did. I'd go climb trees.
No,
that's the usual kid thing. I wasn't
a climber. I always felt like I'd get stuck.
I never got stopped, but I did fall down a few trees.
Yeah. I know. I fell down one because I did like a bear climb around on one on the front garden. Like just full kind of hug, both hands, both legs, and kind of trying to get. And I got halfway up it, and then lost purchase and slipped all the way down, and just my whole chest like. That was horrible. I never did it again.
I had one, climbing up one of the tallest, one that tall tree near where I lived, and fell down and just like between my legs, just like branch, all the way down to the bottom. Yeah.
But you're resilient when you're kids. You don't think about it.
Yeah, but it was a thing. It was like, do you want? I go around my neighbour's house, but do you want to go climb trees? Let's go climb trees.
Yeah. No, I had a mate that came round because my mum and dad had got that field out back, and there was one of the old apple trees there. My mate came round and climbed it, got right to the top of the tree and got stuck. We had to get someone to come and get a ladder and get him down. Didn't kill him with a ladder.
How'd you get stuck? Is it fear? It must be fear.
Yeah, I guess it's just you can't tell how you got up because you've just been looking up the whole time, and then you don't. I guess you can't look down and sort of analyze the branches as a pathway. You're just like, I'm up here and I don't know what I'm doing now.
I never had a problem getting down. It was just like, just figure out. But yeah, it must be just.
But like,
fear,
realistically, those trees aren't that high. Like the very, very top, like the thin branches that you can't actually climb on, maybe about 20 feet. So up to the point where you can climb 10, 15, maybe. Not high. But then when you're a kid, everything seems high.
Yeah. Fire as well. Fire was a big thing for me. You used to set fire to public parks. Yeah.
Oh, only public ones.
It's weird. Yeah, it was like a local park near where I lived. And again, I go around my neighbours, let's go climb trees and start fires.
Yeah.
And then we just go to like a local park, find a little secluded area, make just like a really small fire. But it'd be like, well, we just set, I mean, we put it out and be responsible about it, but it's still setting fires in.
Yeah.
You know,
no, we used to do it in a
stupid thing to do.
It was like a country park on the other side of Stoke, like a big sort of nature reserve-y kind of place, but it's open. It's like an old quarry or something. And we used to go camping in there and have fires and stuff. And they'd send helicopters over, and we'd just get like a big blanket and just kind of like hold it over the fire until they were gone, and then take it away again. Because they'd come over with their lights and trying to spot people.
There's a big glowing blanket down there. Nah, it's probably nothing.
Yeah, but they'll have had like heat thingies on them, won't they? So it's like it doesn't really matter what you do. I swallowed a marble. I remember that being a big deal when I was a kid.
Yeah, I guess maybe kids think of them as sweets.
Yeah,
maybe. Like gobstoppers.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Yeah, but there was a whole thing of like you had to wait for it to come out, otherwise you have to go to the hospital. Oh.
I never played marbles.
No.
I don't know the rules.
No, I didn't
Partially
either.
digest marble 1.
Yeah.
And aim for marble 2.
In other news.
Scouts I think was a big thing for me as a kid. Like building things and setting fire to things.
Yeah.
Tended to make most of my time. I used to made a dishwasher. Used to just build things out of wood and rope. Be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, making traps. Traps was a kid. Yeah. Lots of traps.
No, I never made anything cool, but I did a lot of stuff with like Lego and all that. And
oh yeah,
I don't know. I was into kind of like making things, but I liked those weird like science kits. You get a load of test tubes and weird bubbling things, and you'd turn one liquid into gold or something. Whatever kids do.
Alchemists. Yeah. These bloody kid with their alchemist stones to make lead into gold. To be young again.
Yeah, with something they got from Toys R Us. Oh, yeah, Toys R Us is dead now, isn't it? That's weird.
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah, it went under.
Asda was Asda had like there was a large Asda near me that had like a really big toy section.
Yeah.
That had these Asda. I'm assuming Asda brand because they could only buy them in Asda type of like soldiers, and used to buy loads of those. Never really went to a Toys R Us unless it was in America, and it was big then.
No, we Toys R Us was a special occasion. Anytime we go, we get like a big like litre bottle of bubbles, like blowing bubbles. And it came with like a massive bubble wand. I'm like, this is sick. Got blow bubbles all day.
Yeah. Don't worry, mate. Stuck in the tree. I've got my bubbles.
Yeah, I'll blow a U-size bubble, and you get in, and I'll meet you in the house.
Yeah, we'll float to Scandinavia.
Yeah.
Then we'll figure out what's next.
Yeah. In other news, 79-year-old Joseph Stroud has pled guilty to leaving dead animals on his old neighbour's headstone while dressed as a woman.
It was me! I did it and I'm proud. But why dead animals? Why not? Why not?
He's accused of
not a crime.
Accused of causing more than $2,500 worth of damage to his former neighbour's headstone by staining it with the blood of dead animals. According.
Oh, that's my putting that in my will and testament. Stain my gravestone with the blood of animals. Oh, you ruined it. Fuck that. I hated my neighbour.
According to a probable cause report filed, the granddaughter of Fred Allen McKinney contacted police in July after she and her family began finding dead animals on her grandfather's grave 2 months prior. He told police that she told police that her grandfather and Stroud, who had farms next to each other, and shared a boundary for several years, never got along with each other. So it's like a weird kind of family
rivalry thing.
Yeah, weird rivalry. But there's a picture of the guy like taken from a hedge, like just as like this weird guy in overalls, but like in a woman's wig with a face mask, just holding like a dead raccoon. Oh, they'll never know it's me.
Yeah, who was his nemesis who had access to lots of animals that were nearly dead? That's probably that guy. Oh no, it was a woman. Oh, well,
it's not that guy.
Could have been anybody.
A woman with his build and his voice. Yeah.
And his dead animals. Yeah. It's weird that death isn't enough for somebody to be done with you. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you've won. He's dead.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you've got to deface his gravestone. What?
Why?
Yeah, it seems like, it feels like you're not appreciating the situation as much as maybe you should.
I don't know, but it's one of those things where it's like, if you're having an ongoing argument and they got the last word and then died, you'd be a bit pissed.
Well, maybe. But like,
if you were that kind of person, like if you were one of those people that was like, I have to have the last word, because there's plenty of those people in life.
Yeah, but
like,
was
if
the
they
last
got
word
it and then
hundreds
died,
of dead animals?
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. Fuck that grave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but then you and me would see it as like, well, he's dead, so you win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to deal with that anymore. Now you have to manage a gravestone.
Yeah.
Well, he's got that on his weird behavior. What was it? Traits. Getting into new habits. Forming habits. Well, 7 a.m. Ding, ding, ding. I've got to go put a dead raccoon on my old neighbour's grave.
Yeah. Yeah. Make sure it's a bloody one.
Yeah, the bloodier the better.
Yeah. This guy seemed up your street. Pronounce the name. Rawiri Waititi. Rawiri Waititi, New Zealand MP representing the Maori people, was ejected from Parliament this week for refusing to wear a tie. Because Parliament's just fucking stupid. According to the rules of the New Zealand Parliament, male MPs may only ask questions while wearing a tie. After being stopped by the speaker mid-question, Rawiri continued for a second time until being ordered to leave. As he was being escorted out, he was like, "It's not about ties, it's about cultural identity, mate."
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all nonsense, but like, there must have been a reason when that law came into practice.
Yeah.
Old tireless Dave kept on coming into Commons and talking.
Yeah.
No, I have to wear a tie now.
It's like, well, we don't want him here anymore. What can we do to stop him coming in and asking questions?
Yeah.
It's like, well, he hasn't got a neck. Maybe if we say you have to wear a tie.
Yeah. It's like, he doesn't know how to do a tie. No one tell him. No one show him how to do a tie. And then he'll never get into public office.
Objection. No. Where's your
That's
tie?
only a quarter, Windsor, you cunt. Get out.
This is just the latest tie-based spat between the MP and the Speaker. Late last year, Mr. Waititi was told that he would be ejected from the House if he did not wear a tie. In this first speech to Parliament, he said, "Take the noose from around my neck so that I may sing my song."
He's singing, get tired quick.
Now, in defence, like in complete defence, because this whole tie rule is fucking stupid. Like, just to be like how stupid it is. This guy is like he's a tribal chief, like with a full face tattoo, and like the whole tribal thing, and been like, you can't talk unless you wear a tie. It's like, well, it doesn't go with the rest of my outfit. Like it doesn't.
That's
it doesn't.
Your culture.
It doesn't go with the whole chief thing.
Yeah. Oh, he's not wearing his Air Jordans.
Well, he wasn't wearing no tie. He was wearing like this kind of tribal pendant thing, which is like, that's a thing of your people. But it's like, no, you've got to wear this cloth tie, which he's compared to a noose.
No tie, no representation.
Yeah. Prime Minister.
No tie, no government.
So ridiculous. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern said she does not object to people refusing to wear ties, but that there are bigger things to be focusing on, stating, "I don't think New Zealanders really care about ties." Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think people, really.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that it's just like people think you're supposed to do. Well, you have to go.
Well, it's just...
I still don't understand the English Houses of Parliament.
Yeah.
That's how you get laws passed, and that's how you have good open debate. Is whenever anybody says anything, you go, bah!
Yeah, it's weird. Weird, archaic laws, but it's something to do with... it's something to do with not being allowed to voice like disagreement outside of those noises. Like you're not allowed to speak unless you've got the stand, but you can make a noise of agreement or disagreement. You just can't say words. Something like that.
Just wait for your turn to use your big boy words.
Right.
Why not just wait for that? Oh, what if they don't stop talking?
Yeah.
Well, then everyone will see that they just aren't stopped talking and they're idiots.
Yeah.
No, you have to go.
And finally, to honour his late uncle, introducing him to heavy metal, Prince Midnight from Tampa, Florida, had his skeleton turned into a guitar that he plays himself.
It's what he would have wanted. It's like, don't know.
Well,
people do weird stuff with the dead.
After passing in the mid-90s, the remains were originally donated to a medical school, but after being told last year that the school no longer required the remains, they were entrusted to his aunt, who was left with two options, which was either to pay for a burial plot or pay for the remains to be stored. She didn't want to pay for that anymore, and then I was like, I'll take care of it. And then he took him home and turned him into a guitar. It just popped into my head. I'm going to turn Uncle Phil into a guitar, and I was like, that's the best way to honor him. He would have loved that idea.
To be fair, if Uncle Phil had a good sense of humour, I think it would be pretty great.
Yeah.
But we don't know. It's like he might not have found it very funny.
But it's weird. It's like it's a rib cage with a guitar neck coming out of it, and you strum the pelvis.
You strum the pelvis.
Yeah.
He would have wanted to be molested to make music.
Yeah. Well,
really pummel that groin. This is your uncle.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Great riff.
Tonight I'm playing Phil. Yeah.
I like the idea that he was donated for medical science, or to science, and he got promoted to a guitar.
Yeah.
Or he retired. Like, we don't need him anymore.
Yeah.
We've done all the science.
Yeah. Give him a Rolex and get the fuck out of it.